Welcome back to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is August 30th, 2020. This is actually a remake of episode 59, in which it was reported to me that this video had frozen at about a minute 36 in, and it was just holding the image without any audio the rest of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and redo it for the benefit of you. This is Patriotika. I believe I said that right. The number one. It's an Antarctic Press, and they're celebrating their 35th year. I just want to mention that this comic was published before under a different publisher about 4 years ago. I thought it was brand new, but apparently this is just the first time that Antarctic Press is giving it a go, and I believe it was Olympus was the previous publisher, and it was done through a Kickstarter. So the character herself, as you see, this is probably the highlight of the whole book, unfortunately. She's beautiful, she's curvy, obviously. She's got a little bit of magic runes going on there. I think it's a terrific basis for a great character, but the downfall for this whole thing to me was the story and the dialogue. Okay, so let's take a quick look at it. All right. Stories by Ron Z. The art is by Antipus, and the colors Candace Hahn. So starting out for this first page, it was a little confusing to me on this. I didn't really realize what was going on at first. It took me a couple run-throughs. But Patriotika, well, this isn't Patriotika. This is a Greek god. I believe it's Athena. She's getting to this battle too late. She sees a fallen god, a giant god, and it's in the same water as you can see with this aircraft carrier. And she's zipping in. And I believe she was fighting too, but it's hard to tell. It's a little disjointed. And so she is losing her own power because of the fight and everything. So she's going to try to merge with this larger giant is the whole thing going on. So as the giant sinks underwater, which it's not really shown so well in the sequential, this goddess dives in the water after her and is able to carry her out. And it's not really easy to see. This whole sequence is a little not sequential so much. So to me, it wasn't. I don't know if I'm not seeing it right. The rest of the book seemed pretty sequential, and there wasn't any issue following along. So we see this fallen giant here. The goddess is standing over, and she's going to try to merge with her, but something happens. The giant somehow resisted her power, so she was going to try to merge to become this equally stronger opponent again. Meanwhile, these three people, or young people, are walking along, and I believe it's supposed to be something like Venice Beach, California. I'm not sure. And we've got the guy who seems like a pretty nice guy, the kind of the pretty cute girl. It's kind of a snob, and in the middle we've got like the bookish chicken of the three. She doesn't really want to do anything, and she's dared into eating this red hot chili pepper, and it's too hot for her, so the two run off to get water while she's trying to spit it out. And this fallen goddess who's losing her power rapidly, her name is Athena, is asking her for some help. She wanted to actually merge with the taller, stronger looking female here, but she ran off to because I guess she got a little bit of spittle on her dress or something when the girl kind of spit it out. Okay, so anyway, a war wraith arrives, and the dialogue's kind of not too great. I really didn't like it that much. It seems like it could have been a pretty good story. So anyway, this goddess stands up. She knows she's not strong enough to fight her, so she merges with this smallish, kind of wimpy girl, and in doing so, the girl becomes very strong, very agile, and very aware of her surroundings. Among other things, she's developed all these powers now, and she's dodging this wraith. She goes back, warns her friends, but then the wraith shows up, but suddenly she's able to actually, oh, I'm sorry, in this part the wraith hasn't arrived yet. She's actually able to save her friends when a car goes out of control and crashes. Now the wraith shows up, and she begins to transform even more. She gets this Omega sign on her forehead, and the guys are watching her going. Her name's Erin, and she starts to get very muscular and very big and super strong, and she's able to stop the War-Wraith from crushing her with the foot. And you can see she has gotten very voluptuous, and this is the form she'll take as Patriotika. I cannot say it. Patriotika, I guess. I'm sorry about that. It's been a while since I read this, so I'm going real quick through this. I've got a bunch of other comics to do. And there's some kind of saw blades coming out of this War-Wraith. She's able to pretty much stop everything with her newly found powers, which she gets them really quickly. She seems to know what to do, and here she shows she's posing at the end of the war after she's beaten the Wraith, and she shrinks back to her small, wimpier self. So the rest of the book, basically, they're just go ahead and they're training. She's training to see how far she can go. She's been told with the voice in her head that she can fly. And the snobby girlfriend pushes her off a building top, says, well, if you're ready, if you can fly, go ahead. Pushes her off. She falls all the way through the street into the sewers, and she comes back up. And for whatever reason, with the sewer water around her, she's able to splash her two friends, which the guy really didn't do anything, but he gets splashed just because. And so then later on, they're eating in a cafeteria, they're watching TV, and there's Wolf Blitzer on there, and there's all these giant bugs attacking this army. So they see it on the TV and say, what am I going to do? And so she decides she's going to fly there. At first, she is recognized as part of the enemy by the army because they've never seen a flying woman before, and they start shooting at her. And she says, I got to do something about this. I'm here to protect them. And she's able to change into this new suit and wow the guys and take on the bugs. And it ends with these two ancient Greek gods popping up with even more giant insectivore around to kill them. So overall, the story seems like it could have been really good. The dialogue is just not worth anything, really. I'm very disappointed as far as that goes. But it seems to be a fairly popular indie comic right now. I did on the old video I uploaded. I got a number of views on this, but it wasn't. I didn't even get into the review on it. So I'll be reposting this. Unfortunately, I've got a bunch of other new books to do as well. I just got back from my vacation in California. I'm back in the heat of Texas, and I've got a lot of work to do now. So we'll take a look at some of the other Antarctic things that are out there. We've got Gold Digger, The Last Zombie, Teether, and this Cat Shite 1. And then Offworld, which I've been reviewing here. I've done 1 and 2. I'm still waiting for 3 and 4, and they're showing actually issue 5 here. It's a two stories in one comic, so those stories have been pretty interesting, I'll say, and I've gotten a lot of views on my channel on those two reviews that I have done. And we can take a look. Black Hops, obviously it looks like some kind of Teenage Mutant Turtles story, maybe a twist on it. And we have Rags, which looks like to be a zombie chasing this woman, this very voluptuous woman. Food, water, shelter, weaponry, ammo, and pants. That's what she's looking for. And you can see that she's in for the time of her life. Then we have the San Japan. It's just a gaming convention. And finally, the new one coming out, Raptor. That's coming out this summer sometime. We'll find out when. So that's my review of Patriotika. I can't really recommend it. I am hoping that they develop the character more. I think a better writer on this could really take it somewhere. Obviously, the character is one that you like looking at. She's beautiful. She's kind of cute in the regular comic too, in her other form, the more bookish form. So it could be a really fun comic. Unfortunately, at this point in time, to me, it's not. So I would pass for now. If you're buying it, you're probably just going to buy it for the art cover to pin up. And I don't know if there are pinups available of this one because it was a Kickstarter. There might be something out there floating around. I don't know at this time. But I want to thank you for stopping by for this redo of Patriotika. And this is Indie Comics Jones. Please subscribe. Please like. Please leave comments. And I hope you do subscribe because I've got a lot more comics to do. I think I've got about 75 videos out there right now. And we'll get back to those as soon as possible for putting the new ones out. So thank you for stopping by. Take care.